So this is the second video in this short series on transplanting Papaver Somniferum or opium poppies. And in this one I want to focus on transplanting very young seedlings within the first week or so of their growth. So these are very young seedlings that you can see here. They're growing in jiffy 7 peat pellets, which is what we start nearly all of our seeds in. And they're doing really well. It's just that the amount of seeds in each pellet varies quite a bit. Most of them have a few too many seeds growing and some don't have enough. In fact, you can see that some of them don't have any at all. Now, I'm not going to be starting to thin these for another week or so it's an ideal time to transplant a few of the seedlings from pellets that have too many growing and transfer them to pellets that have none growing or only one or two. And really, they're seedlings that are going to have to be pulled out anyway when thinning, so apart from time, you've really got nothing to lose by trying this. So the first thing I'm going to do is to create a hole in the peat pellet that I want to transplant into. I'm using a wooden cocktail stick or toothpick. You want to push it in and enlarge the hole with a circular motion, which means that the peat gets moved to the sides rather than compacting at the bottom of the pellet. So now that we've made the hole, we want to choose a seedling to pull out. So I'm going to look for a pellet with plenty to spare. And this is where you have to be really gentle with it. Just lightly pinch the top of the seedling and slowly pull it out. And you'll see this tiny root that's less than the thickness of a human hair. Then we'll get it straight over to the pellet we've just prepared. And this is the tricky part. We want to try to make sure that this root is going straight down vertically into the soil. You can use the point of the cocktail stick to very gently guide the very end of the root down. You want to make sure that all of the root is under the soil and that all of the stem is above it. And then you can just move the soil back around the stem and compact it very slightly, which will help to keep it upright. Now that was one that went pretty smoothly, so now I'm going to show you what can happen where the root doesn't seem to want to go straight down into the hole. Here you can see it just doesn't want to go in, and it can be quite frustrating, but if you're patient then you should get the hang of it. You can also use the cocktail stick just to pull the side of the hole a bit wider. And here's one with a root that's quite a bit longer, which can make it really tricky to get in which case you either need to make the hole much bigger or just try again with a different one. And here's one with a slightly shorter root, which makes it very easy to get into place. And this is the same box of pellets 3 weeks later, and they're ready to be planted out into the ground. You can see that I've been thinning them out, and in this one there are just 2 plants in the pellet now. And this is 8 weeks later, and these are the stunning poppies that have grown from those tiny seedlings. I'll put links in the video description for where you can buy the seeds we used here, or you can just go to purepoppies.co.uk and browse all the different varieties of poppies available. I hope this video has been useful. If you've got any questions, then drop a comment below and I'll try my best to answer them. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already, and if you know anyone who you think this video might help, whether it's someone on a forum or a friend or family member, then please share this video with them. If you want to know how to transplant more mature poppies, then check out the video on the left. And for how to transplant seeds that have just started to germinate, check out the video on the right. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.